So
where did you get this philosophy mindset from? Like, why are you like this at your age?
you're going to die at the end of the day. Like, may as well run with something, enjoy, take the most out of everything, and just do something you got a passion for. Heading over to Daniel's now. Basically, a bit about Daniel is he probably runs, if not runs, the biggest face-to-face PT company in the area I live in right now. Pretty successful in what he does, has a really strong mind, you know, jacked as fuck, like he's literally winning in all aspects of life. Today's video, we're gonna dive into a bit of a deeper level, what it's like building that level of success and that mindset to just kill in whatever field you're in. All right, how we doing?
Doing good, brother. How are you?
Not too bad. So this is Daniel Pardo. You run the biggest face-to-face PT company in the area right now. So basically what we're doing is, I guess, diving deep into the behind the scenes of what it's like building all of this, the journey, you know, where you've came from and all of that. We'll start with like where you came from. So I personally know your story. You grew up in some rough areas. You know, I could tell the story, but I feel like you're gonna tell it best.
Born in Western Sydney, Campbelltown. Lived in Ayres, lived in Eagle Vale, you know, around Claymore, right on the border. And we moved around a lot. You know, lived in Liverpool for a little bit. We moved up to Port Macquarie for a stint, went to like 8 different schools, lived in 10 different houses. So very kind of disrupted upbringing.
Most people that grow up in those areas, they just go down that same path of just staying in that same spot. What gave you that spark to get out of that area? Like, what made you want to just, like, because obviously you don't really have that much inspirations around you. You don't have good role models.
Yeah.
Like, what made you want to, you know, become the person you are right now?
You know, I'd like to give myself credit, but I just don't know how I ended up here, to be honest with you. No, when we lived in Sydney, again, I was a very average student. I didn't like school. I was scared all the time to go to school, scared to stay home. So it's not like I really applied myself to anything. I didn't even think of tomorrow. I didn't think, let alone what I wanted to do with my life, who I could be. It was just in the moment. Very impulsive, just living for the moment, really.
Yeah,
and that's a mindset of people down there too. You know, you'll see they'll drink on a Thursday or a Wednesday and they're all pumping music in their houses that are just living for the moment. They just impulse, whatever they want, girls, drinking, fighting, just that's all it was. So I didn't really think ahead. If anything, I credit to my mum to moving up to the Central Coast when I was 15. So like, you can just wipe away the first 15 years, nothing.
Yeah.
Ever since I moved up here, you could walk the streets and not be afraid and stuff. So then I started to get into interests. I started playing soccer and I started to like apply myself a little bit more at school, and moving up the Central Coast was probably what changed it, yeah.
We'll pretend if I'm someone from those areas you grew up in, what piece of advice you'd give to someone that's like stuck in those areas but had the same mindset of you, where you were scared, you know, you didn't like, you knew that you weren't meant to be there, but you didn't know how to get out of it. What piece of advice would you like do to get out of that situation?
I love that, because people will say the most outlandish, bold, brave thing, you know, like don't give a F what people think and all that stuff. No, you don't grow up in those areas. You be a quiet achiever. Fly under the radar in public. As soon as the door shuts, try to find anyone that you can bounce ideas and energy and stuff from. Do what I did. If I didn't have a network, then obviously we always have access to these things now. So like I said, the first personal development book I ever read was Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Changed my whole paradigm. So Anthony Robbins, T. Harv Eker, Dale Carnegie, from How to Win Friends and Influence People, these became my network, right? So just, you have access to resources now that I didn't back then, so that's definitely something I would recommend. And be a quiet achiever and keep your head down until you can get out of there. Your environment, say your tribe determines your vibe, right? And if you have to lower your energy all the time just for self-preservation and safety, then just, do that. Keep your head on a swivel. These people are like, oh, just be outlandish. You try and get jumped by 3-4 guys and you've got no one there and people know where you live, and you try to do that.
Yeah.
People don't give the right advice. Quiet achieve, and use what you've got until you can get out of there.
We'll touch on like mental health. So this is, you know, like we're gonna fast forward a bit to like when you're on the coast. I remember you said, you know, you felt like shit. This is before you started your like PT journey, doing all of that. Because you got like a really fucking sick story with this. So what really like made you flip the switch? Because I remember you said you wanted to do it. It was like that story where you said you're at the beach. Do you want to explain that? Just like running off that story?
Yeah, so at that point, I think I was about 24 years old. So my battery had just run out, basically. It's like, when does this start to get better? I'm trying, right? I'd never had a girlfriend at that point. Lonely. Anytime I tried to make friends, they took advantage of me. Any job I tried to apply for, $11 an hour if I got paid, 16-hour days, they just, you know, I was owed $3,000, oh, here's $600, car didn't work. Everyone seemed to just treat me like crap consecutively. Didn't really have a network, and I just ran out, where it's like, and the biggest catalyst for me was, at the time, because I didn't have much confidence in myself, you know, just started making a Facebook account, and then I ended up getting catfished. Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
And like, I used to talk to this person all day, every day. So I was like, there's no way that someone would say these nice things to me and really genuinely act like they care about me and just not mean it. No one ever told me they love me and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when that turned out to be fake, it's like my life source just drained out. I had nothing left, you know? And that was it, man. And I just gave up. I just, like, in my mind, I was willing to let go. So I had a moment then. That's when I said, well, if you're willing to throw everything away right now, why not just give it one last crack? I remember the term one last crack was in my mind, because you just drain your life source completely, because you can always be back here next week and you can finish the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, why not take the chances you're afraid to take? You've never had a girlfriend, but you've never really put yourself out there. You're not a bad looking guy, you're in decent shape, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not have a higher standard for yourself? Why not, like, try to build your business? You're passionate about, you know, doing PT, being a PT, all that stuff. Like, why not just go all in on these things? If it doesn't work, you could just end up back here. So that was a freeing thing for me, because I lost my attachment to this world. I could just leave, because no one would have cared. I felt like when I wanted to do it, I felt like, we're gonna have 5 people at my funeral and the world will keep spinning. So I had no pressure on me. Yeah.
Like, as of right now, and you like look back at those situations, you know, where you felt like shit and you wanted to just end it all, does it feel kind of weird that you have now like impacted easily like over like 1,000+ people's lives, like, and now, you know, because you went from, like you said, you didn't feel like no one cared about you, you felt like it was literally just you in your like your own world, kind of, but now it's kind of like you've literally like helped so many people, including me. Like, you know, I credit a lot of everything, like pretty much everything I've ever done, like from like the past year, I credit to you towards like the mindset you've like helped me build, you know, strategies to put in place with anything, you know. Does it feel different now that like you were going to end it all, and now like fast forward 10 years later, you've like impacted fucking so many people's lives, like that if you did end it all, like you wouldn't have been able to do it, like none of that would ever happened.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's, first of all, man, I appreciate that so much, bro. But it's almost paradoxical that 10 years ago, 12, 13, I don't know how long ago it was, when I felt that way, I would have loved hearing that. It was like life's complete. But that is what keeps me here. The fact that it's paying dividends and I'm helping people is really what keeps me here in the moments where I question why I still want to even be around. So it's very easy to, it almost makes me apathetic about it. I want to help people, And when I do, it's great for them. It used to give me the warm, fuzzy feeling. It doesn't give me the same thing now. I just feel like it's not, because it's not about me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I actually don't even give myself credit. I really give God the credit. Really, I really do. I feel like in my better moments, there's something bigger working through me. And it's going to sound strange, but so I just actually kind of go blind and let God do his thing.
Yeah, 100%. No, I love that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
Yeah, so when I've impacted someone, I don't feel like I have. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. That's fucking sick as.
Yeah.
And like talking now about like your future with, you feel like, you know, like it's not you, it's God that's just literally just pretty much giving you the power to, you know, do this stuff. Like it's his work, not yours. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Where, like this might be a difficult question considering like you look at it like that, but like, do you have like a goal with like helping people? Like, is it literally just what you're doing right now and just keep going on, or?
Yeah, I've realized from our last chat too, I used to be so goal orientated, but I realized you got no control over the outcomes, only over our output.
Yeah.
So if I just do my best and if you know, because I live from a framing where I don't know, like, it's a very deep question, but I don't expect to live till a certain point, right? So hitting a goal that then we could just always, it's an arbitrary number, we can always change the number. I used to 1,000 transformations, why not 10,000 transformations, why not this, why not that? So if I can just be my best self every day, and whoever that impacts, it impacts, and times that over however many years I'm alive, and I've done my part. I have achieved now what I would always have loved. It was my vision board, and it's done. And then when I went in doubt, zoom it out. When I zoom it out, I realize how small it is in comparison to what could be achieved and what other people have achieved and all that kind of stuff. And I even think, if I achieve everything, if I set new goals and I achieve everything I set out to, it's still not that big. So I kind of don't attach myself to an outcome anymore. I just want to do my best in the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just whatever comes from it, comes from it.
Yeah, because like, you know, I've got a nice car, I'll get another nice car. Like Tate, what has he got? 70 cars. Like,
when does it end?
When does it end?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like, I've got no mortgage on my house, and people are like, oh, well, you can upgrade the house. Like, well, I like the house.
Yeah.
You know, like, you want more houses, you want more cars, you want to impact, you know, more people. I want to impact more people, so that way, my whole mission statement of life is leave this place better than it was when I arrived. Small or big. The bigger, the better. But even at its biggest, I still know it won't make much of a difference. So,
Can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
Like, so you want to leave the world in a better place that you, like, before you came.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you've already done that? Like, how does that feel for you?
I've tried to. I don't think... Look, short answer, yes. Because even if you've helped one or two people and you've changed their mindset and their paradigm and they go on to help other people, then yes. Like, I've been a net positive rather than a net negative, as far as like, you know, I've never hurt anyone, I don't mistreat people, I treat people with respect. So yes, not a massive difference, but at least, because I believe that no individual can change the world, but if everyone shows up there as their best self, the world's a better place. So if I can just help a few people to encourage them to do the same thing, then I've done a little bit of my part. But yeah, it's a loaded question, but like, when you see the bigger issues that are going on in the world, and you just see like even people that have achieved insurmountable amounts of success, how little that impacts the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I'm such a deep thinker that me doing what I'm doing just doesn't feel like anything, you know?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I've always wondered, like, how your mindset was towards like thinking of really like if you've already like done that, you know?
Yeah, I
So
just,
that's it.
if anything, what it's done is kind of ticking off all my goals, has freed my mind up to see what really matters.
Yeah.
When you've got your goals in front of you, you've got that tunnel vision focus and thinking that's so important. It's almost like you have to achieve your goals to realize they never mattered in the first place.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's where I'm at now. And when you become the person capable of achieving that goal, it doesn't feel like anything because it's on that level. It's
Yeah.
like, well, I work for it and here it is.
Yeah.
In fact, if you think about a big goal and then you attain it and it's amazing, you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
You'll almost like struggle to hold on to it and lose it. It's kind of like, even when I paid my house out, which was like small goal to some, a big goal to some, it's all relative, right?
Yeah.
To me, it was my holy grail because it, like, having a lot of instability in my life, moving from house to house, when I paid it off and I realized that, like, it wasn't that aha moment,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was just like, do you ever really own this thing?
Nah, that's interesting. That's interesting. So, you feel like you set these big goals that are going to change your life, and then when you hit them, it just feels like nothing.
Yeah, but you've got to factor this in too, and this advice might not be applicable to a lot of people because I'm 35 years old now and I'm a man, I'm a husband and a father, and a real man won't put himself first. So it's like all my goals, my goals, my goals. Like, you know, I die for my wife, I die for my daughter, and my whole goal has been to try to set up a life for them.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I'm most proud of is my daughter, Valencia. She's not even 2 yet, and there's nothing she can't say. She's brilliant. And Jem reads to her every night, and she can really spend the time to raise her because they don't have to fight the same battles that most people in 2025 have to. Cost of living, the crazy interest rates, of housing prices, all the things that people have to stress, two-income households and stuff, where then the TVs and the tablets are raising your kids. Seeing how Jam is in her element, where she can just be carefree and raise Valor, and I've created that. These are the things that matter to me more.
Yeah.
Because, like, I want to set up a good life. It's the same thing, like, Kalila, she's going to be the manager now. I want to have good clients and good results, and like, so the trainers can get paid well to do what they love, and like, I just see me as the creator to facilitate good lives for people.
Yeah.
So if something ever happens, my first instinct isn't like, how does this hurt me in the pocket? Like, how does this impact whoever it's impacting, and how can we fix it, kind of thing. So I don't think about me and my goals and stuff like that as much as I think of like, how's it
going to impact others.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah, that's sick. Let's touch on that then.
Yeah.
So you have that mindset of just wanting to, you know, I guess provide. That's like basically where you're going with that. I feel like, especially with my journey, I just feel like there's so much pressure behind that. How do you deal with all of that? You know, feeling like you have to live to some expectations. Because especially as like a man, like you have to be, you know, it's just known as like, you got to be a provider, you got to do all of this, you know, you got to make sure you can, you know, provide a life for the people around you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that pressure of...
Yeah, I've struggled with it.
Yeah. Do you still struggle with it?
No.
When do you feel like you felt like you stopped struggling with it? Like, was there a point, like financially or like...
Yeah, look, I can't lie and say if I was struggling financially that it wouldn't impact me. Like the fact that I kind of was really smart. Like, I don't value money in the sense that like I need the latest clothes, and like I've never been a big spender, especially growing up the way I did.
Yeah.
I learned how to be good with minimal amounts of money. Definitely served me very well. The fact that I've created this lifestyle for myself and my family has definitely helped. But I also, along the way, when I really did struggle, because I got bad anxiety, and I used it as my superpower. If you weren't around me, you just see the benefit from that. But if you're around me, you just like, oh, this guy's not sleeping, up 3 o'clock in the middle of the night writing down ideas, and I wouldn't stop until I got it done. So I used what was a negative thing in a positive way, So, you know, like, you can't comfortably level your life up. Discomfort is necessary. So there's nothing I would have changed about my journey. I needed to suffer and I needed to pull myself out of that situation. And it's only then when you're kind of susceptible to new learnings and new teachings and stuff like that. So there's no comfort. You just got to grit your teeth and get through it.
Just get out of it, yeah.
But in saying that, if you ever want to just loosen your chest and feel good, coming out in nature every day. I go to the beach every day, PM or AM, sit there for half an hour and I journal and I realize that, I mean, I could die today, none of this shit matters anyway, right? And then, as long as I'm actively doing my best, remember, I've got no control over the outcomes, only our output. So if I'm doing what I can, it takes away the stress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stress primarily comes from things you're not doing. So everyone sits there stressed, but there's things they could be doing.
Yeah, 100%.
That stress is a response to be like, hey, get off your ass and do stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Stress is good. That's what stress is.
Yeah.
So that's the answer that I have, is like, do what you can. You'll feel better. The outcomes will be better. And just use stress as a tool.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's sick. That's so sick. A lot of people don't look at it like that. I noticed, especially me and Dara actually talking about that the other day, where it's like, people say, I don't got this time, you know, I got all this stuff going on, but they're not doing anything about it, which is why they feel like that, you know, and then, you know, over time, they're just gonna get left behind because that's the mindset they just keep holding on to.
Yeah, it's a story they tell themselves, but it's also, they're not wrong, but it's priority management.
Yeah. What
are you putting at priority number 1, 2, and 3? Like, I can't train and look after my health and the most important thing in this world because I've got this for these things that don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So it comes down to priority management. It comes down to, like, just being super aligned with who you are, what you want, and all the rest falls into place. A lot of people, there's an expression, you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. Some people just get up and they tell themselves they want stuff, but they don't. Not in their quiet times when they're by themselves. They're not doing it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate that, Ed. That's Daniel Pardo. If you guys want to check out all this stuff, I'll link it down below as well. You know, literally changing one life at a time. And that's the whole goal with all these videos, with mine and especially Daniel's. And we'll continue to do so. So if you guys like content like this, make sure you guys subscribe and see you guys next week. Let's go.